What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 748 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you from Underground Studios and joining me as he does each and every week to get your weekend started off the right way. As you guys listen to this on a beautiful Thursday, it's HK Harrison Cremens. And, of course, joining us once again, Intern Jacob up in the corner. If you're watching on YouTube, we got a fun one here for you. We'll talk some Phils as they are up north of the border. A little breaking development as we're recording this. JT Realmuto injured, removed from the game. Rafael Marchand now in the game against the Blue Jays as it's tied 1-1 in the bottom of the ninth inning. We'll keep you up to date if any news comes across the desk on JT. I believe it was a hand injury, so we'll keep an eye on that. Saquon Barkley, your new Madden cover athlete. So we'll talk a little Madden cover. We'll talk a little Eagles as some of the coaches spoke to the media today as we record this on Wednesday night. And we'll talk a little video games covers too, because not the first Philly athlete to grace the cover of their respective sports video game franchise. And we'll talk a little cheesesteaks too, because that ties into Saquon Barkley as well. Plus some Flyers news as they hire a new assistant coach, and some rumors swirling around that a certain team may be looking to trade down. Could the Flyers move up in the draft? Who knows? Draft coming up in a couple weeks. We'll talk a little bit of that as well. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We're on every social platform. So give us a follow there, help boost the following. We just made our big announcement. Jacob and I will be live from Rita's in Sewell on Sunday, June 8th. Around 6 p.m. will be the start time for the show. Come hang out. We're going to have a blast of a time, doing a whole bunch of stuff with Rita's in Sewell this month and hopefully beyond. So definitely come on out to that. All the details are on our socials, and we'll talk a little Rita's later on in the show. But June 8th, 6 o'clock p.m., Rita's in Sewell. Come on and hang out with us. Subscribe to the pod. Subscribe to the pod. Once again, subscribe to the pod. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow. Plus, it helps every show on our network continue to grow, especially if you're an Apple Podcast user. You can favorite the channel for Underground Sports Philadelphia in your podcast app. Just go to the channels tab, click the little star on Underground Sports Philadelphia, and you'll be up to date on every show on our network when new shows drop, if new shows get added to the network, etc. But you can immerse yourself in the Underground universe. So definitely favorite the Underground Sports Philadelphia channel on Apple Podcasts. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It is all on our YouTube channel. We're currently at 1,070 subscribers, which means we're 30 away from our next 100 subscriber milestone. So keep on subscribing, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and be sure to click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live on the channel. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland, and the city of Vineland municipal calendar features city organized, city sponsored, and city affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the city of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city, Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
HK, how we living, my friend? How we doing on this lovely Wednesday evening as we are willing the Phillies to victory north of the border?
We're doing great. They're not the only team I'm willing to victory over the north of the border. While you were doing the ad read there, Edmonton just pulled one back with an absolute piss missile from Arvidsson, just squeaked under Bob's pad. I'm really pulling for Edmonton in this series. I don't want to see a back-to-back Cup champion out of Florida.
Yeah, can't see Marchand win another Cup.
No, absolutely not. And as much as I would love it for Bob, like confirm him as a Hall of Fame goaltender, which he definitely is. I'd much rather see Edmonton win one, especially with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, 100%.
But and Donovan McNabb's nephew, Darnell Nurse.
Darnell Nurse.
But yeah, doing great.
That's good. It's 1-0 Edmonton.
3-2 Florida.
Oh wow. Okay, come on, Edmonton.
The second period got off to a bang with 2 goals in the span of a minute 16.
Golly, it's because it's the Cup.
It's the Cup. Playoff hockey is the best playoffs out of every sport, and I stand by that.
Because it's the Cup, baby.
It's
yeah, absolutely. Jacob, how we doing, brother?
We're doing great. Bryce Harper is back. How could you not be happy? And the Celtics are still defending NBA champions, no matter what anyone says right now. So they have that title for a week.
Yeah, until the Pacers take it from them.
As long as the Thunder don't win and the Knicks are gone, I don't care.
Yeah,
the Knicks are gone and Gru is gone because Tom Thibodeau was fired this week, and I can't believe it.
Got him fired.
I can't believe NBA Centel had it first.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Honestly, it was the right move. Thibodeau's he's a great regular season coach, but once you get to the playoffs, he just disappears. He's like Alain Vigneault.
It's going to be real great when Knicks fans realize they're the new Sixers.
Yeah.
That's where their team is right now, which is so funny. But let's talk about a fun team, and that's our Philadelphia Phillies, as they are battling to get out of this bottom of the ninth inning and send this game to extras. They're north of the border in Toronto, tied 1-1 right now in the bottom of the ninth inning in game 2 of the series that Mick Abel started because Zach Wheeler's wife is pregnant and due any day with their 4th baby. So congratulations to them. We'll see Wheels hopefully very soon. The viral TikTok that they posted was so funny.
It was the most out of pocket thing I think I've seen in a long time. And you don't expect Wheels to post that. He's the soft spoken one of the group.
The fact that Wheeler is in his wife's TikToks that are like that and do like the viral trends and stuff is so funny. And this Phillies game
is over.
As Jordan Romano gives up a walk-off home run to Alejandro Kirk.
He's a double agent. He's still a Toronto boy at heart.
But yeah, the fact that Wheeler's wife posts those TikToks with him in it is just so funny because he's just like, all right, just tell me what to do. And he just goes through the motions and it's so funny.
That's my
but like it's so great. But like you said, Jacob, Bryce Harper is back and he came back with a boom. As we said on Monday's show, we don't want to see him overdo it like we've seen him do in the past coming back from injury. That home run swing was a thing of beauty as he and Trey Turner provide a plethora of offense via the long ball. The Phillies did a little bit of small ball as well, got after the Toronto Blue Jays early in that game to kick off the series on Tuesday, and they walk away with a Game 1 victory from a pretty solid game from Christopher Sanchez. He didn't do anything like too crazy, too special. Only 4 strikeouts. Did have a walk issue, 4 walks in the game, but only gave up the 1 earned run, 4 hits. Bryson Stott looked good at the top of the lineup again. I know a lot of people have been back and forth on whether or not it's time to switch Bryson up in the lineup. Do you keep him there? I think he's just comfortable at the top of the lineup, and the numbers prove that. And I know he's not like beat the cover off the surface of the ball at the top of the lineup like a Schwarber or even Trey Turner can be. But if Bryson Stott's going to work in at bat for you, get on base like he did, drew that leadoff walk, and then Trey Turner, boom, first pitch swinging home run. That's going to provide for this team in the long run. Mm-hmm. Trey goes 3 for 5 in the game with 2 home runs. Harper, 0-2 count, home run, provides the lead there. Surprisingly enough, just 2 guys go 0 for in this game. 0 for 5, Kyle Schwarber. 0 for 4, Brandon Marsh. Alec Boehm was phenomenal, had a 4-hit game. It was just an all-around just like bloodbath early on. Like they got after the Blue Jays starting pitcher, Bowden Francis, who is named after Bobby Bowden from Florida State. And my, oh my, did he look like this year's version of Florida State, because 6 runs in the first, an additional in the second. Blue Jays got one back in the 5th. Phillies tacked one on in the 8th. The Blue Jays tacked on another 2 in the 8th. But overall, like, that was just like the perfect, like, medicinal type win for the Phillies coming off a 4-game losing streak. Go up to Toronto, get the first win out of the way. Bryce Harper homers in his return. And you could just tell, like, his presence in the lineup, like we were saying on Monday's show, means so much to the rest of this lineup. And the fact that he was able to just get on base, hits the home run, obviously, like we said, but also gets on base an additional 2 times with the walks. I mean, the fact that they just needed to go on the road. Maybe they just need a little road medicine there. But great win for the Phils in game 1. And then, as we just mentioned, game 2, I don't think they counted it as a home run now, as I'm looking at the final score being 2-1. I think they're just counting it as a double. Yes, that's what they're counting it as. Phillies lose in walk-off fashion to the Blue Jays 2-1. This is where I take issue. The active pitcher with the worst ERA against the Philadelphia Phillies in his career is Jose Barrios. You have to get after that guy. He only had 4 hits off of him, only were able to get 1 run. He drew 2 walks. He came across with 5 strikeouts on you, though. But the top of the lineup, Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. That's a problem. The top of your lineup has to be the table setter, and when you're going up against a guy who historically stinks against you, you have to be able to set the table and take your pitch and see your pitch. And sometimes I feel like this Phillies team just gets way too just like swing happy at the plate, and that's when you see results where they only score 1 run. Mick Abel pitched tonight's game in the shuffle up from Zach Wheeler going on the paternity list. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, only 2 strikeouts. Ryan Kirkering a clean 2/3 of an inning. Matt Strom a clean inning. Tanner Banks a clean inning. And then Jordan Romano unfortunately blows the game in the 9th inning, giving up that earned run. But again, this is something you and I talk about all the time, Harrison. Mm-hmm. You can't win games unless you score. And when you score 1 run against a middle-of-the-pack Blue Jays team, you have to be perfect the rest of the way. And that's unfair to your bullpen. That's unfair to some of the guys in the lineup. Like, it's got to be a collective effort. And when you're not scoring runs, you only come across with a run in the 2nd inning. It's going to be difficult to tiptoe around the rest of this game and not feel like you're on edge every single pitch.
Yeah. And, so first of all, I guarantee you Jordan Romano thinks that Joe Carter is a hero and not like the devil personified. So that's a point against him. But when you have Mick Abel out there in his 2nd career big league start, throwing pretty damn well, only allowing 1 run, you got to give the kid some run support. I know we've said this a lot about like Nola not getting the run support he needs, or like Wheeler not getting the run support he needs. But it goes doubly true for a kid fresh up from AAA. Like, you gotta, if he's pitching a gem of a game, and like he only had 3 strikeouts, but for his 2nd career start in the MLB, that's pretty damn good.
Second start of his career, too, where the Phillies only score 1 run.
Yeah. And
he's getting the Cole Hamels treatment.
That was great when he allowed a shutout and like completely shut down the Pirates. But the Blue Jays, and this is not saying much, but they are better than the Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put up runs, especially with as star-loaded of a lineup as we have. It just feels a little criminal that we aren't up 2-0 in the series. But
yeah,
I digress. I'm glad that Bryce is back, and his swing still looks phenomenal. It was a little bit shorter, I noticed, on that home run swing, but he drew a lot of power from his hips instead of the rotation with his arms.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I guess the rotation with his arms is going to come back a little more once his elbows healed up fully.
Yeah, because he did have that elbow guard on.
Yeah,
when he was playing yesterday. I think he had it on again today, so
but
that's definitely something to monitor.
But my favorite Philly of all time, Chase Utley, had the cleanest short swing of all time, and he always swung for the fences. Except when he wanted to play small ball, which he was an absolute genius at. If Chase Utley isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, we riot. We riot. Put that out there.
Nicky C goes yard for the 1 run for the Phillies. Hits a home run in this one. But yeah, I mean, to your point, like, yes, the Blue Jays are a better team than the Pirates, but this is now back-to-back starts where you have I don't even know if he gets classified as a rookie because I don't know if he'll get the amount of start. Well, I don't know if he'll get because you have to hit a certain amount of innings to be like classified. But a first year in the majors, pitcher in Mick Abel, 2 starts now under his belt, and the Phillies have given him a combined total run support of 2 earned runs in 2 starts. You got to be better. Like, the kid is pitching his ass off. He's shoving. And, we're not expecting what he did against the Pirates every night out. We're not putting a 9 strikeout, expectation on Mick Abel every single time he's out there pitching. But when you see that, he's pitching relatively well, might not have the strikeout stuff. But again, on the flip side of this too, for Mick Abel, back-to-back starts in the majors without walking a single batter. And if you know Mick Abel, up until this year when he's really like turned things around in the minors, walks have been his Achilles heel. And that's why he has been struggling over the past couple of years. Back-to-back major league starts now without a walk. That's a great sign. None of this is on Mick Abel. This is on the offense going completely flat. And, at the end of the day, going into a bottom of the 9th, 1-1 game, you're putting a lot of pressure on Jordan Romano, rightfully so, because you signed him to be the closer, but the guy hasn't, he's been very Jekyll and Hyde this year. So if you're expecting him to go out there and just pitch like he's, prime Mariano Rivera, you're kidding yourselves.
He can't go out there and even like shine Brad Lidge's shoes.
Right. Like he's like 2023 Craig Kimbrell has been better to this point for the Phillies than Jordan Romano has. But
giving me PTSD, man.
Oh, trust me. I know. But on top of this, the big news from this game, JT Realmuto gets hurt. I'm trying to find out if there's any
I don't think we'll get an update at least for like an hour or 2.
Yeah.
Just seeing what the actual injury was. Because, I mean, for JT to have to leave the game, not great. Okay, so it wasn't his hand. It was his groin area.
Oh, that's worse.
I think he took a foul ball to the where region. Not great.
Well, he's already got a couple kids, right?
Yeah, okay, now that I'm seeing it this way, that's brutal. Oh, yeah, that was a clean nut shot on JT, to which somebody posted on Twitter just like a screenshot graphic that says, "I will donate my balls if it means JT is okay tomorrow."
Hey, listen, I would have donated my ACL back when we thought Carson Wentz was good. I would have donated like my hamstring. I'll never donate one of the family jewels. Yeah, that's the one thing that's off limits.
That's tough because now if JT, like, I'm hoping it's not an extended amount of time. You obviously never know with a groin area issue and what he's going to wake up feeling like tomorrow. Being that it's a day game tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Phillies play around 3:07 start time. A lot's going to just depend on how he feels waking up tomorrow. And obviously it's a lot different than a traditional, player in the field. Like, he's got to do a lot of squatting. So it's a different position than the normal baseball player. But hopefully it's not an extended amount of time that JT is out with, the groin injury here from getting a foul ball to that region. I'm just glad it wasn't his hand, because that's what it looked like initially when I was watching the replay. I thought the ball or Alejandro Kirk's bat went back and accidentally hit his hand. I'm very much because we were talking before we started recording the show, and I was like, this is not good, because now it means Marshawn's going to be thrust into an everyday role, which he had that game right after I said I haven't been impressed by him. Had that game that he popped off. Good for him. I'm glad he listens to the program. But then you're again very similar, like Bryce going out, you're shortening your lineup, and that's the last thing the Phillies need right now. So while I'm not happy for JT that he just took a brutal shot to the groin on a foul ball, I'm glad it's an injury that can be a short-term absence rather than something happening to his hand and his hand being broken or something like that.
Well, knock on wood, it's a short-term.
Yes, exactly.
Because you never know with things like that. That could be he took a real bad stinger and had to go throw up, and we take him out of the game and he's out of the game, or he's done for the next 2 months. It's one of the two.
Yeah, hopefully it is just, maybe he misses tomorrow, and being a day game like Marshawn was probably going to catch anyway, because I think Luzardo is pitching tomorrow with the shuffled up rotation from Wheeler going on the paternity list. So that makes sense. I'm fine with that. And then you go to Pittsburgh, figure some things out. And then the other development from today's game news, Aaron Nola not returning as expected, has a right side kind of flare up while he was doing some of his simulated work and everything. So it's going to be a little bit longer before we see Aaron Nola back, which is frustrating. Not that, it's anything of Nola's fault. I wish the Phillies would have just recognized that he was injured prior to him getting shellacked against the Cardinals, because there was clearly something wrong. Just put him on the injured list after he injured his ankle, allegedly doing agility drills down in Tampa. But that's brutal, because again, your rotation, while it is a strength, you obviously want to be at full strength with Aaron Nola in your rotation at full health. But hopefully he gets better sooner rather than later, and you can kind of continue filling out the depth of this rotation. But that was another kind of pregame headline that Nola is not going to be back as scheduled like we initially thought. So unfortunate there, but the Phillies go for the series win tomorrow. And at the end of the day, that's all I'm worried about. Sweeps are nice, but win the series. Because if you win 2 out of every 3 throughout a Major League Baseball season, you're on pace to win 108, 109 games. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I think we recognize if you win 108, 109 games, it's pretty damn good. You're a pretty damn good team in baseball if you're ending up winning that many games. So go for the series win tomorrow against the Blue Jays. I forget. Oh, it's Bassett for the Blue Jays tomorrow against Luzardo. Again, a pitcher that gives us fits, but if you make him throw pitches, get him out early. We've seen this Blue Jays bullpen, when you've had to go to them early, they're not that great. So if you get to the front end of their bullpen early in the game and make them work, that's a good sign for this Phillies lineup that may be without JT Realmuto tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there and kind of how the lineup is thrust out tomorrow for a day game after a night game. But nonetheless, got to give a tip of the cap from our friends at 47 to Mick Abel, because, the dude, 2 starts now. That's fantastic pitching from Mick Abel so far, and 47 is the cap of choice here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Guys, they're dropping new releases pretty much every single week. I'm on their website all the time looking at every new drop, anything new for our favorite teams here in the Philadelphia area. They just dropped their badges cleanup collection for the ladies out there. Looks like a sweet hat. The Phillies one is absolutely gorgeous. Like we mentioned last week, they've got a whole capsule set for the NBA Finals. They also have one for the NHL Stanley Cup playoff finals, some sweet shirts for the Oilers and Panthers. but their gear is second to none. And genuinely, whenever I'm at Citizens Bank Park, I'm out at that 47 Alley store every chance I get because they have exclusive stuff at the ballpark as well. But use our link in the description, shop with 47, and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family and create an account on their website. It's free to create. You earn points on every purchase, and I have enough points on my account right now that I could just buy a free hat, which is incredible. So join the 47 family, get free shipping on all orders when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at 47. And we thank 47 for being a proud partner of the podcast. But again, tip of the cap to Mick Abel, because the dude has struggled over the past couple of seasons in the minors. We never really knew if we were going to ever see him in the majors. And now back-to-back starts, pitches incredibly well, obviously, against the Pirates, outduels Paul Skeens, and now goes 5 1/3. Mick Abel, here we go, fun stat here, according to NBC Sports Philly. Mick Abel is the first MLB pitcher in the modern era, so since 1901, with 5+ innings pitched, 0 walks, and 1 earned run or less in each of their first 2 starts. First one ever. History right there. Like, that's
Beautiful.
how good Mick Abel has been.
Beautiful.
Build a statue.
Like,
Right
now.
I will be present for Mick Abel Wall of Fame night.
He knows my brother's friend, so like I got a 7 degrees of connection to Mick Abel. So
Well, we may not build a statue yet because I don't know if y'all saw the rumor with him. He may be moved for a kid from Millville, New Jersey. I saw a rumor today. It was Rojas and Abel for Michael Trout. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think it's pretty interesting.
Here's my thing.
I love
when it
Mike
comes
Trout,
to any and all Mike Trout trade rumors. Number one, I love Mike Trout. Mike
Yeah.
Trout and I are not that far off in age. He was a senior at Millville when I was a freshman at Vineland. So, like, I've known Mike Trout since before he was Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Amazing dude, amazing family. I've met like almost every member of his family. Incredible people. Here's my thing when it comes to Mike Trout, the baseball player. He's on fire right now. Has played absolutely incredible this year. I love seeing Mike healthy because we're watching one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game right before our eyes every single night that he's in a lineup.
Yep.
My thing with Mike Trout is that he's getting older, and that contract is massive. Not that there's a salary cap in baseball, but that contract is huge for an older player who's had obscure injuries.
Yep.
It's not, dude's had, a hamstring injury here and there, which you never want to see, obviously. It's not like he's had a shoulder issue. Like, he's had a major back issue. He's had knee surgeries. He's had like weird injuries that are like out of the blue type things to happen to a baseball player. Yeah. And on top of that, Mike obviously had the opportunity, if he wanted to sign with the Phillies in free agency a few years ago, sign that extension with the Angels, and I'm totally happy he did. Mike's got a big-time operation out in L.A. His parents have a house out there that he bought for them. It's very close to the Nike headquarters, him being one of the big Nike athletes as well. So it's a business thing for him, too, to be out there, and he's happy. And at the end of the day, Mike Trout is a loyal guy. He's going to ride or die with whoever supports him through and through.
Yep.
I think he's content not having to deal with the pressure of playing behind his hometown fans and having his friends show up and his friends' kids show up and the city of Millville show up every single night to Citizens Bank Park, because then it's an additional pressure. Like, I'm sure he's fine and enjoys it that every few times the Angels come to Philadelphia like they do this year. Like, it's a fun experience for him. I was at the first series when Mike came to Philly in 2015 for the first time. He was having a blast, with the fans out in the outfield and stuff. But I do think it's one of those things that he's content with not having to deal with that additional pressure. And on top of that, I think the Angels would want a boatload, especially since they lost Ohtani for free. They had every opportunity if they wanted to trade for a king's ransom for Shohei Ohtani the year he was going into free agency. They chose not to. That was their decision. I think when it comes to Mike Trout, they would almost overcompensate, where you're going to be paying for Mike Trout, you're going to be paying for the marketing that comes with Mike Trout of being able to put him in front of your fans, whatever team that may be. And then on top of that, you're almost paying like an outdated Shohei Ohtani tax, where it's like, we missed out on trading Ohtani to get a King's ransom haul back. So when we trade our players now, we're gonna ask for a little bit more in return, because not only do the Angels need it, but they're going to have to publicly look like, oh, we're not just giving this guy away.
Yep.
I also think like Rojas and Mick Abel, from the Angels' perspective, even if it wasn't that case, is not nearly enough for what the Phillies would have to give up.
Yep.
And I think on top of that, the Phillies would also be looking to get an additional player back, whether it's a Kenley Jansen or somebody in the back end of that bullpen or something like that, to pair with Mike to kind of downplay the cost. I just don't know where Mike kind of lies in terms of, because he has a no trade clause too, full no trade clause. He can veto any trade. And on top of that, like, Mike Trout's a guy that if you trade for him, he's an everyday player. I don't know if he has the legs to play center field at his age right now, like full time. So that's also something where like you're going to have to do a lot of like lineup maneuverability. He can play left field, he can play right field, but I love the idea of Mike Trout. I just don't know if it's a feasible idea to happen. And with Mick Abel, like, he's proven that he can pitch in the majors right now. Like, not that I want to speed up the process on any of our guys, but like Ranger Suarez is a pending free agent, and you haven't sat down with Scott Boras to negotiate a contract there. That's one starting pitcher. Zach Wheeler's 34. He's under contract through this contract, and there's been talks that like once he's done this contract, he's going to retire. So you have to kind of like be ready for that as well.
Yep.
Obviously you have Andrew Painter coming up, and he's going to be a big part of this rotation for a long, long time. I'm genuinely starting to think like Mick Abel's going to stay, because the Phillies are going to need starting pitching depth to pair with Andrew Painter, Christopher Sanchez, Aaron Nola being on this team is kind of the grizzled vet with Jesus Luzardo. You figure out if you can retain Ranger Suarez or not, and then you go from there. But I don't know, unless the Phillies are blown away by a potential trade for a player at the deadline this year, I don't know if they move Mick Abel. I feel like he's in that little cluster of players that includes Andrew Painter, Justin Crawford. I'm blanking on a couple other guys, but I think he's like one of like 5 prospects right now that are not necessarily untouchable, but the Phillies are like, yeah, you're not getting that unless they're blown away by somebody for like an elite caliber player that it just like, it would be dumb for them to turn it down.
Yeah, I agree with that. And plus, I think if the only way that the Angels would be willing to move Mike Trout is if like the Phillies included a package that had, Justin Crawford, Andrew Painter, Mick Abel, 1 or 2 of those 3. And let's be real, none of them are really worth trading right now. As Kyle said, Mick Abel is going to be a big piece of this pitching core for the long haul, I think. Painter is going to be a huge piece of this pitching core.
Looking at like the Phillies prospects right now too, like they have guys that they can trade to get like players that'll be around for a while too, whether it be Brian Rincon, if they end up trading Escobar, who's not slated to be major league ready until like 2028. He's only 20 years old, so like where does he fit on your timeline? That's really where you have to look if you're somebody who's starting to look at Phillies trades and everything for this upcoming trade deadline.
Yeah.
Just go to the Phillies prospects website is free for everyone to look at, which is a beautiful thing. I always, when I'm looking at like who they could trade, I always look at the guys. Are they on like the path to being part of this core once some of these guys move on, when some of these guys retire, or are they still a little bit of ways away? Like I look at a guy like Devin Saltaban, who's the Phillies' number 9 prospect. He's in high A right now. He's 20 years old. He's on track to be in the majors in 2027.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
that far
someone-
away, but
That's something you can
Can
move
you-
on from.
can you put him into a package that brings you back, an elite reliever that can help you win this year? I
Yep.
think that's a possibility. And you look at the top, 10 prospects now, according to MLB.com, it's Painter, Aiden Miller, Justin Crawford, Eduardo Tate, Moses Chasse, Dante Nori, shout out to the boy, friend of the program, Griffin Burkholder, and that's amazing too because you drafted Dante and Griffin last year. Mick Abel's your number 8 prospect, Devin Saltabon's number 9, and then Gabriel Rincones Jr. is number 10. So there's a lot of guys that are potential pieces, and I mean, they traded for Seth Johnson last year. He's in the bullpen right now. If they can upgrade where Seth Johnson is 26 years old, if you can go and put him in a package for another elite reliever, I wouldn't be surprised if that's on the table too, but I also think Seth Johnson can be a pivotal part of this bullpen as well once he gets his way under him. Phillies also have an elite outfield prospect just by name, and he's a switch hitter. This dude needs to make the team at some point. His name is John Spikerman.
Oh, that's elite.
That's a baseball name if I've ever heard one. So yeah, there's a lot of players we went through the whole Phillies rebuild process and they didn't have prospects that were this good, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I mean the Trout
was so good.
What's that?
I said, what do you mean? Mickey Moniak was going to be so good.
God, don't even bring that name up.
I wanted him to be so good. I feel so bad that
They just dropped
never panned out.
They just dropped a card at MLB The Show when he was like a prospect 90 overall. I'm like, he was never going to be that good.
No, which sucks because like the yearning for him to be good was like there the whole time. It's like, oh, we got the number 1 pick, and then
he was going to be good that one year, then got fucking hurt. Oh, that's my one.
I know.
Yeah.
He got hurt.
The children don't yearn for the minds; they yearn for Mickey Moniak to be great.
Yeah, that was a bummer. But yeah, I mean, the Trout rumors are going to float around there just by nature because he's a local guy. I just don't know how much of it I can believe in until I hear one of these names mention Mike Trout and the Phillies in the same sentence. John Heyman, for whatever reason, I still kind of believe he's got intel with the Phillies to a degree. Bob Nightingale, Ken Rosenthal, or John Morosi, and Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan, my go.
Yeah.
Speaking of Passan, he's been on a demon time on Twitter.
He's the man.
I love
Passan. I love it.
Hi.
I love it. I also love that the guy that runs the Barry account literally tweeted was like, I just woke up from being on a bender and I turn on my TV and the first thing I see is literally me. And it's just his face blown up on the McAfee show.
Yep. So going off what you said though, Kyle, I won't believe anything about Mike Trout until I see him in the Phillies pinstripes. I genuinely won't.
Yeah. Also, I'm cracking up at Passan tweeting about the Red Sox walk-off home run today and him saying the shortest walk-off you'll ever see. And Coley Mick said, don't love your tone here if we're being honest. And Jeff replies, is the Mick short for Mickey Mouse Ballpark?
That's my goat.
I love Jeff.
Hey. Salute to a legend.
Jeff's the man. Also, I'm cracking up. Somebody tweeted, needed an update on JT's quote-unquote situation. And my friend Key at Real Mama Eagle on Twitter said, dick probably hurts. We'll see him tomorrow.
God damn.
Incredible stuff. But yeah, I mean, just go win the series tomorrow if you're the Phillies. That's all I'm worried about. Go win the series. Go to Pittsburgh. Pull off another sweep against the Pirates. And man, how lucky are we? How lucky are we that we got to face the Colorado Rockies when we did?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're the hottest team in baseball.
Hey, don't let the Rockies get hot.
We'll let the Rockies get hot in June.
They might win 15 games this season. Who knows?
We're going to tell our grandkids about the June of 2025 that the Colorado Rockies organization had. The Miami Marlins should be so embarrassed as an organization that they got swept by this Rockies team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pathetic.
I was blown away. But yeah, beating the Rockies isn't for everyone.
It's only for the actual good teams in baseball.
But yeah, go win the series tomorrow. Then you get Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, sweep that series, and then you come home. Who do the Phillies have at home after Pittsburgh? Chicago. Good team. That's another kind of like litmus test series that you won 2 out of 3 at Wrigley already earlier this year. But kind of just test yourself and see how that goes. And then Toronto comes to Philly for a weekend series. So,
and then we got the Mets after that, I believe.
At Miami and then the Mets.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's all I'm concerned about. 307 tomorrow. Go win the series. We go to Pittsburgh feeling good with another series win in our back pocket. A little bit of a scoop here, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Rita's in Sewell. You like what I did there, everybody? Yeah, scoop.
Hey.
Rita's, guys. Rita's is truly the best. Like, I've been going to Rita's since I was a kid, and the fact that we are partnered with a Rita's chain now is just fantastic. Rita's in Sewell. Jacob and I will be there on Sunday night around 6 p.m. start time for a live recording of Underground Sports Philadelphia. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of social content as well at Rita's. So come out, come say what's up. We're going to have ourselves a fun time at Rita's in Sewell, 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. I was looking at the Rita's menu today as I was like preparing our announcement for the show. There's so many good flavors. Like the flavors that they put out just in their Italian ice is just fantastic. And I gotta say, Jacob, we're gonna do so much fun social content with like the Rita's flavors and everything. Boys, we'll go around the horn. Harrison, I'll start with you. Your top 3 favorite Rita's flavors.
Oh, that's tough, man. Oh, that's real tough. I mean, number one off rip, it's a classic for a reason. I'm a big mango guy. Second pick, this one might be a little controversial. I'm a big fan of the mint chocolate chip cream ice.
Okay.
And then third pick, how can you not love Swedish Fish?
Swedish Fish is goated.
Yep. So that's my top 3. Close number 4 is root beer.
Okay.
Like
not everybody gets down with like for lack of a better term, like the savory flavors.
Yeah, I rock with the savory flavors. Like sometimes the too sweet is too sweet, you know? You got to dial it back just a little bit.
Jacob, your top 3 favorite at Rita's.
I'll be honest, I probably haven't had Rita's in like 10 years. But
that's true.
Yeah, but my 2 favorites were always green apple. I'm a big green apple guy. And then Swedish Fish. Swedish Fish is my shit.
Swedish Fish is elite. I have my top 3. One of mine might be very controversial. And it jettisoned its way into my top 3 just last summer. Boys, I'm going to put you on. Okay. The cantaloupe flavor is so refreshing. Harrison, especially since you like mango, it's in that like realm, and there's pieces of cantaloupe in the water ice. Ooh. It's so good. I'm gonna put people on. You know, I've been gatekeeping it a little bit. The cantaloupe flavor, I absolutely love it. I'm a big cantaloupe guy. Swedish Fish is also in my top 3, and also in my top 3 is mango. Because you can't go wrong with mango Italian ice whatsoever.
No.
And
you can't mango wrong. This guy stinks.
Couple of honorable mentions. I do like the Dr. Pepper flavor as well. Big fan, especially if you do the combo and you get 2 flavors. You do the cherry and the Dr. Pepper, then you get a cherry Dr. Pepper water ice action.
So fun fact, actually, Super Bowl Sunday, you know, after my celebrations, I wound up at the Rita's in Bloomington. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know how. But I get back up to my spot at the bar, and I kind of come to, and there's a Dr. Pepper water ice in my hand. I'm like, oh, elite. Well, this is a lovely treat.
Elite. My brother-in-law, Matt, tried it when we went to one of our little Rita's rendezvous. They have a Nerds grape flavor.
I've heard that's pretty good
that
too.
has like the nerds pieces in it as well. So that's definitely something I want to try this summer. And I also want to try the strawberry lemonade because that just sounds delightful. But I mean, every single flavor that Rita's has is elite, from the cream ice to the Italian ice. They also have the sugar-free Italian ice if you need to cut back on the sugar a little bit. I'm always a gelati guy through and through. They got the blendinis, the concrete, which is the thick custard loaded with the toppings. They got the gelati blenders, the ice blenders, the milkshakes. They got the take-home treats as well. Rita's is truly the best in the biz. So come on out, 288 Egg Harbor Road, Sunday, June 8th, around 6 p.m. will be the start time for the show. And we're excited to be partnered with Rita's all summer and have the summer of Rita's. And guys, they put it best. It's Ice-Custard-Happiness, because that's exactly what Rita's brings you. Shout out to Rita's and Sewell for being a proud partner of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Also want to talk to you guys about our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, if you want to stand out in the crowd, whether you're going to a Phillies game, gearing up for the Sixers and Flyers drafts, gearing up for the Birds, or the Philadelphia Union, or you want to rep your favorite Philadelphia sports podcast, PHI Apparel Company is the place to do it. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Go to phiapparel.co, use code underground at checkout when you got your cart filled up to the gills, and you'll get 10% off your next merch order from our awesome pals at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's phiapparel.co, code underground for 10% off your next merch order. Stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. This week, it was announced the Madden cover for Madden 26. So fitting that we all knew he was going to be on the cover. The moment he did it, Saquon Barkley, your new Madden cover athlete, he becomes the first offensive player from the Philadelphia Eagles to be a part of the 99 club, which kind of blew my mind because how has Lane Johnson not been in the 99 club? That's crazy to me.
Wasn't he part of the 99 club and it was the first skill position player?
I think he
literally
got it midway through the season and they didn't count it like as an official.
Yeah, it wasn't like when the release happened. Lane wasn't.
Oh, okay. We're talking like
EA Sports is a bunch of words I can't say because I hate their guts with a passion.
Yeah, no,
but yeah.
So we're talking strictly at release, not like you got the team of the year.
Update.
There you go. Because I could have sworn that Jalen Hurts had a 99 card last year for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so like from the start of Madden and everything, Saquon, these are the highest rated Eagles players all time on Madden. Saquon Barkley, Madden 2026 is a 99. Madden 2006, David Akers was a 99 overall. GOAT. And Madden 04, Brian Dawkins was a 99 overall. Those are the three 99s.
Only time Dawkins was a 99 overall?
Yep, was Madden 04.
That's blasphemous.
Lane Johnson in Madden 24 was a 98 overall.
That's also blasphemous. He should have been a 99.
In Madden 06, Terrell Owens was a 98 overall.
I got to assume that Shady and McNabb had pretty high ranking cards too.
Well, the only player left on this list from NFL Game Day might blow your minds, and I think this is a player that people sleep on and forget how good he was when he was on the Eagles. In Madden 15, at a 98 overall, was Evan Mathis.
Oh my God. I haven't thought about Evan Mathis in years. He was a dog.
Was so good. One of the most underrated offensive linemen I think the Eagles have ever had. He was a 98 overall in Madden 15, but those are the highest rated all-time Madden ratings for Eagles players. Saquon, David Akers, Brian Dawkins at 99s, and then Lane, Evan Mathis, and T.O. at 98s.
I gotta wonder what Connor Barwin's rating at one point was too, because he had to have had a high rating at some point.
Yeah, there had to have been some like high 90s, but not exactly. Deshaun Jackson, Shady, like
Macklin.
I mean, McNabb had his heyday too on Madden, like he was the cover athlete.
Brian Westbrook.
Yeah, there had to have been some high ratings for sure. But Saquon graces the cover. They have the standard edition, which is him jumping over the Jaguars player who is never escaping that play for as long as he lives. And
shout out
then
to him for making the Madden cover in his second year in the NFL.
and then they have the deluxe edition, which honestly looks as cool, if not cooler, than the leaping cover. It's kind of Saquon like side profiled, like looking back. My only gripe with the Madden cover, like artwork, is that I wish it was Saquon backwards.
Yeah.
Like, I know they were going to show his face, obviously, because it's to market him as a player too, but it should have been him backwards because he was doing a backwards, like, frog leap.
Yeah. And if you had Barkley just on the back of that uniform,
and you see the back of him, that would have been like a very cool, like, artistic approach to it.
You gotta show his beautiful face.
Yeah, very cool that Saquon's on the front cover of Madden. They did a whole takeover at Geno's, renamed it Staquon's for the week. But Saquon becomes the 6th, if my math serves me correct, Philadelphia athlete to grace the cover of their respective sports video game franchises. Obviously, we have Saquon now, Donovan McNabb for Madden 06, NFL 2K5 was T.O., NHL 13 was Claude Giroux, Bryce Harper was MLB The Show 19, and Ryan Howard was MLB The Show 2008.
6, yeah.
Which actually I might be wrong because I'm pretty sure Joel Embiid had a cover for one of the NBA games.
NBA Live.
Yes.
NBA Live, but are we going to count NBA Live?
That's like we're saying we're counting Ben Simmons 2K18 Australia cover.
Yeah, we don't count that until Joel gets we 2K cover.
We did count We did count NFL 2K, which I mean,
NFL 2K was a much bigger game than NBA 2K
Live. Was
awesome. NBA Live is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I
think Maxey could get the cover of 2K one day.
I could see that.
Eventually, but there's so many young dudes who have been on it, like Ant, Halliburton, Wembanyama is going to be on it eventually. There's
so if the Pacers win the title this year, Halliburton's going to be on the cover next year.
If Shea wins it, he'll be on the cover next year.
Right. It's either going to be Shea or Hallie.
Or it could be Ant low-key because they love
it. Ant, but I think they're going to want to go with one of the new young faces who's just won the title.
Yeah, because they did the GOAT last year after he won the championship.
Yeah.
This guy.
This dude.
Do we ever see another? Because iconic Madden 2010 cover. It was the dual athlete cover.
Yeah.
Do we ever see another video game franchise do the dual athlete from different teams like that?
Well, Madden did it again in 22 with Mahomes and Brady.
Right.
I could see let me think here. I don't think I ever see that happening for the show.
The show did it this year.
They did
the show had Gunnar, Ellie, and Skeens.
I forgot about that.
I load up into the show every day. I see their face.
I haven't gotten a new show yet, so I didn't realize that. Okay, so never mind on that. But if we're talking like iconic, I could see NHL doing that when Ovechkin and Crosby declared their last years in the NHL and do like an OV Crosby cover.
That's true. That's a good pull.
I could
see baseball doing it from a marketing standpoint one day, and it would drive people crazy. But I'm gonna put it out there anyway. There's going to be a cover, especially like if they just continue on the path they're on. We're going to see like a coast to coast cover for MLB The Show, and it's gonna be Judge and Ohtani.
Oh, absolutely. That could be next year, honestly.
Especially in 23, George was in on 21. They don't like to do repeat covers, really. So
I wouldn't put it past I wouldn't put it past baseball to put those two on now, especially like
if we get another
after Ohtani had the MVP year that he had, and then Judge is an exponentially better just overall player than he was in 2021 now. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if they did like a special edition cover and it's like, oh, coast to coast rivals or something, because that's what MLB does. They find their guys and then they just market the hell out of them, and then they forget about the other talented players that are in the league.
They just want like big, like flashy guys. That's why they did Ellie's, Skeens, and Gunnar this year, and then they took Jazz Chisholm, like 2 years ago. Jazz,
Chisholm,
See,
yeah.
here's my thing with the Jazz cover. I like Jazz Chisholm, the player. Like, I think he's super fun. He's very fun to root for. I wanted the Phillies to trade for him last year because I thought he would have fit this team perfectly from a position of need and just like culture guy. Jazz gets this like unprecedented hate because they decided to put him on the cover of MLB The Show, and like good for Jazz, like getting the cover. But people just decided to hate on him because it's like, oh, this guy's not like a superstar. He's just like a very talented player, but he's not like elite. So why is he on the cover of a video game? It's like when after 1 year Madden put Peyton Hillis on the cover, and like,
No, that was. Do we want to talk about the real reason Peyton Hillis was on the cover?
it was a
we
white
can get
running
controversial
back.
in video games right now. I'm cool with it.
He was a white running back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Who had an elite year, but
yeah,
like
elite year, but
1 year should not define you like getting
Yeah.
a video game cover. Like, however you want to view the prestige of being on a video game cover in 2025 is your discretion. But since we are all of varying age demographics,
yeah.
I figured we'd make a fun little graphic for the social media fans out there, and we put out our top video game cover athletes.
Are we doing like a list, or how many are we doing?
Let's do one player for each sport.
Okay.
If you have it in your bag, or we can just go since it is Madden, we can just go strictly Madden covers.
I got
one in my bag right now.
I think the Madden covers is like the iconic video game cover.
Yeah.
So let's do Madden covers. We'll do a top 5 Madden covers for each of us. We'll do it like draft style. We'll go youngest to oldest, and we'll snake it. So Jacob, first pick for the Madden cover.
Off the top of my head, I don't know the year, but give me Michael Vick.
Madden 04.
Yeah.
All right. So
Great
next.
cover.
Yeah.
Yes, Harrison, you're up.
God. I think I gotta go with Calvin Johnson, Madden 13.
Love that pick.
It's a fun one. I think, let's see.
And we're excluding Saquon because, like,
Yeah,
because the game's not out yet. This is in honor of Saquon being on the cover.
I was gonna say we can't put Saquon in this quite yet.
Right. Let's see. Who do I want to pop on the Madden cover draft? Man, I get to snake here, so this is fun. There's so many like good but not great ones.
Yeah.
What was? You know what? Because I brought it up, I'm gonna go Madden 2010 with Larry Fitzgerald and who was the Steelers player on the cover? Troy Polamalu, yes. I'll go the dual cover there, and then I'm gonna go kind of new school because I like the tribute factor to it. Doing the all Madden version with John Madden on the cover in 2023 was
nice.
a perfect tribute to John Madden for his illustrious career. So I'll go Madden 23 on the wraparound. Harrison, your second pick.
With the second overall pick in the Underground Sports Philadelphia Madden draft, I am going to select Richard Sherman, Madden 15.
That's a good one.
Y'all messed up.
Who you taking?
That was Madden 14, you said?
15. I took
didn't just have the Xbox game people in a cold. This was the greatest mobile game of all time. I don't know if y'all played it. Madden 16 with Odell Beckham Jr.
I sold.
Y'all don't like. I don't know if y'all played that. That was the greatest mobile game besides NBA Jam of all time.
It was so good with OBJ. Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Good.
Yeah, it gets kind of goated.
It's really goated.
Yeah. I say kind of because he's in the Giants jersey. I got my hatred for the Giants overrules.
But then even on the Xbox, it was really good. They dropped draft champions, like they dropped aggro catches, like That game.
That was a peak Madden year.
That was just a great year in general. 2016.
FIFA 16 was unreal.
2K16.
2K16, Chell 16. All the sports games that year kind of slapped.
Yeah.
Your pick again.
Yeah, so you get the 16 cover with OBJ. You've got Michael Vick on 04.
I'm debating if I want to keep going for a crazy offense or add in a nasty defensive player, but I got to bring him. One of the greatest linebackers of all time, Ray Lewis.
Oh,
God damn it. I was literally about to take Madden 05.
It's a great one.
Okay.
That's a good one. Harrison, your third pick.
Oh, real quick, Edmonton just tied it.
Let's go.
So,
We love it.
let's see. I got my defensive player in Richard Sherman. I got my wide receiver in Calvin Johnson. I think I got to take my quarterback here. Give me Madden 21, Lamar Jackson.
Amazing pick.
Yeah.
Madden 21, Lamar. So now I get 2 here. My next one, I'm going back. You know, I got the John Madden tribute, which I think is just an awesome cover.
I mean, I'm
going old school.
Oh,
because
I think I know who you're taking.
It's just an iconic cover. I got to go with the OG, Madden 91, John Madden with the football, jumping through the gridiron, the X's and O's flying everywhere, the original Madden 91, titled John Madden Football. It's just an iconic cover that when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's John Madden. That's Madden Football right there. So I'm going to go Madden 91 on the iconic front of things. And then on my wraparound, see, I'm torn between 2, but I think I'm going to go with
Peyton Hillis.
No, I'm not going to go with Peyton Hillis. I'm going to go with I'm going to do it. I'm going to go with Madden 2001. Eddie George. Eddie George on the cover. That's one of the covers too that gets like Mandela affected because everyone thinks Madden 01, the first athlete was Dante Culpepper. No, it was Eddie George. So I'm gonna go Madden 01, Eddie George for my 4th pick. Harrison, your 4th pick.
I'm also gonna do a throwback here. Going with the greatest show on turf. Madden 03, Marshall Faulk.
That's what I was torn between.
Yep.
Good pick.
Goated player, amazing cover, prime early 2000s football cover. And then I think I'll wait for my 5th pick because we got to wrap back around, but I might be going for the memes if it's a bit available.
All right,
Jacob, you've got 2 picks.
Last 2 rounds, I got screwed. I was going to take Eddie George, then Marshall Faulk.
Yeah.
And then I just got screwed over. So,
yeah. That's how
I don't want to take Sean Alexander. That's no.
Elite player though in his day.
Oh, so
yeah, he just got pretty big at the end.
My gripe with Madden 07 was because I was a GameCube kid. The tight end to throw to the tight end was the A button on the GameCube controller, but you also had to hike the ball with the A button. So if you hike the ball too fast, it's just like a quick slant to the tight end, and 60% of the time it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that.
Could I take 2 quarterbacks? Like,
it's
your favorite Madden covers.
Yeah,
Madden 20, because the change from Madden 19 and Madden 20 where they added X Factor, Superstar, Superstar KO, Mutt was one of the best years of Mutt for me. Madden 20, Madden 21, and then we're gonna go.
That was Mahomes, right?
Yeah, had him home, a homeboy. I gotta do it. Give me Peyton Hillis.
You gotta do it. I was gonna say
do it. Someone's gotta do it, and I'll bet.
I like it. Harrison, your final pick.
So I said I was gonna go for the memes, and funnily enough, my meme wasn't gonna be Peyton Hillis. I just think that this Madden cover, along with it being one of the worst Madden games in my opinion. And the downslide that led to it had on this player, this is like prime Madden curse. I'm going Madden 19.
I knew you were doing it.
Antonio Brown, the definition of the Madden curse. He was one of the greatest wide receivers in football before Madden 19. He was having a Hall of Fame career, and then the CTE kicked in way too early.
Incredible.
So yeah, with how funny it was, how bad the game was, and the downslide that led to his happened to his career, it's got to be Madden 19.
So I'm torn between three covers for three different reasons. One of my reasons is the gameplay on this Madden. For me, it's my favorite Madden of all time. Like, I will still boot up my GameCube and play this decades-old Madden game because it still holds up to this day. But necessarily, we're going off covers, not gameplay, so I got to factor that in. The other one is obviously the Lone Eagle prior Saquon. Like, that's there. But then this cover has just as much memeage to it as Peyton Hillis being a one-year wonder, as much as Antonio Brown being on the cover, because this Madden got multiple covers even after it was released. And I feel like I have to pick it for that reason, but I'm going to save it for the honorable mention. I'm going to go with Madden 08 and Vince Young on the cover, because the hype of Vince Young coming out of college, it was all there, and that is my favorite Madden game of all time. I love Madden 08. It had the best franchise mode. It's still playable to this day, and it's just an iconic cover. When you see that picture of Vince Young, you know it's Madden. So I'm going to go Madden 08 on my final pick. My honorable mention was the following year in Madden 09, where it was Brett Favre in the Packers jersey. But then after release, when he retired and then came out of retirement, they released sleeves for your Madden cover to go and get him in a Jets uniform, which was just so hysterical. But that is my honorable mention, is Brett Favre on the cover of Madden, because it was just so funny that it was like this tribute to his Hall of Fame career. And then it's like, I'm going to come back out of retirement and play for the New York Jets. What a bozo.
I still think that Aaron Rodgers should fulfill the destiny and go to the Vikings. He's got to.
That would be incredible.
What else happens to washed up Packers quarterbacks? They go to the Jets, he never even got his good year with the Jets because he got injured. And then they have a bad year with the Jets, and then they go to the Vikings and have like one really good year and get bounced in the playoffs in the first round. And then they go back to sucking and retire.
Harrison, your honorable mention.
My honorable mention is so easy. No one took it. It's got to be Donovan McNabb. No one took the Eagle, so I have to take the Eagle.
And Jacob, your honorable mention.
Madden 17 with Gronk.
That's a good
great game. And it's a cover at spiking that, like Gronk spiking.
The Gronk slam.
Who didn't grow up trying to Gronk spike something? Like,
that's true.
You all Gronk spike something.
We all did.
That's a good call. So, Jacob, your covers, you get Michael Vick, Madden 04, OBJ, Madden 16, Ray Lewis on 05, Mahomes in 20, Peyton Hillis in 15, and your honorable mention was Madden 17 with Gronk. Harrison, you got Madden 13 with Calvin Johnson, Richard Sherman for Madden 15. You got Madden 21 with Lamar, Madden 03 with Marshall Faulk, Madden 19 with Antonio Brown, and your honorable mention was Madden 06 with Donovan McNabb. I took Madden 10 with Larry Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu, Madden 23 for the John Madden Lifetime Achievement Award cover, the original Madden cover from 1991 with John Madden bursting through the video game cover, Madden 01 with Eddie George, and Madden 08 with Vince Young. And then my honorable mention was Madden 09, Brett Favre.
Damn good lists, boys.
That was fun.
We all know who the best cover athlete of all time is, and that's Claude Giroux on NHL 13. That one's just goated, and I will not hear anything else.
That was fun. It is kind of cool, though, that now Philadelphia has had, and, say whatever you want about NBA Live and everything. It is cool that Philadelphia has had one player from each major sport on a video game cover now.
Yeah, and we can also technically, if we're talking about just in general, I know we're not counting the Ben Simmons Australia thing mainly because Ben Simmons can go to hell, but like,
and like
yeah.
obviously the Eagles have had McNabb, but like it's been since 2006 that Philadelphia Eagles have had a cover athlete for a video game.
Was Allen Iverson ever on the cover of a game?
Yeah, NBA 2K.
Yeah, he was on 2K.
What 2K was that?
He was like 2K. He was on like 2 in a row.
It was like early days. I mean, I was gonna say if Allen Iverson was never on the cover of 2K, that's a crime against the sport.
He was.
He's been on
2K,
4.
Yeah, 2K. No, he's been on 5 actually. He's been on 2K, 2K1, 2K2, 2K3, and then ESPN basketball.
Yeah,
because Allen Iverson changed the game. Like he was the most stylish player on the court. He was the most fun to watch. My goddamn goat. I love Allen Iverson.
I love Allen Iverson. That's great. 5 covers for one athlete. That's like historic shit.
Record, right?
Has to be. Especially for the early days too. That's awesome. It's like him and John Madden.
Yeah. And God love him, John Madden, but like he wasn't an athlete.
No,
he was
just
a
damn good coach.
Damn good coach and the namesake.
And a damn good broadcaster.
Damn good broadcast. One of the greatest broadcasters.
Yeah.
The inventor of the turducken.
The turducken. But yeah, that was fun. Our little Madden trip down memory lane brought to you by our friends over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Maryland, New Jersey, and Delaware areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Yeah, Saquon on the cover, though, is pretty cool. And I think I saw a take. I think it was John Ritchie said it. Not that I like to pay attention to the old radio station at all, but it was a good take from John Ritchie with Saquon being on the front cover of Madden. He said, and this is a former Eagle saying this, he said, I don't think Eagles fans are prepared for how, like, incredible this team is going to end up being, like, long-term, and how we refer to, like, this era of Eagles football. And I think that's so true. Like, I don't think, because we haven't, as Eagles fans, had a run like this. Like, sure, we had the Andy years, but we came up short every single time. And, you know, it was fun. Every year we're going to an NFC championship game, but we fall to the worst team possible under the sun. Now you get, you know, 2017, obviously there's still some guys from that team on this roster. 2017 to get the first one. 2022, you go back to the Super Bowl and Jalen Hurts duels with Patrick Mahomes in, sure, we lost, but quite frankly, a wildly entertaining Super Bowl. Then you get over the hump, you win 40-6. Sure, it says 40-22 at the end, but we all know what the real score was. You know, for this year, like, this team is going to become so popular for so many, like, new generation Eagles fans. Mm-hmm. And that's something I feel like a lot of, like, old school Eagles fans are not prepared for, but not like it's a bad thing, but it's just like, we're going to see this team in our faces so much. And I, for one, am very excited about it.
I'm fully here for it. I'm here for it. I'm ready to see the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have always been the face of Philadelphia, but I'm ready to see the Eagles truly be the face of Philadelphia.
Like, they are going to be all over the place. We're going to be angrier than ever at the likes of Chase Daniel and Emmanuel Acho and all of the hot take pundits on television than we ever have been before, because not only are they going to kind of like stroke the ego of the Philadelphia Eagles going into the season. I already saw it. I don't know if you saw the clip, if it made it to Instagram, Harrison. Chase Daniel already saying, I think the Eagles have the best chance to repeat as Super Bowl champions for the first time since the Chiefs. Buddy, listen up here, Captain Clipboard. You were bashing the Eagles all year long, questioning every aspect of them. you're going to flip on them the first moment you just drew the short straw in your production meeting, and you had to go and graze the Eagles' egos the way that you did. It's going to be so funny how angry we're going to be. But here's my thing, guys. When it comes to the first things first and the Nick Wrights and all of those talking heads, just ignore them. Ignore them. Because that's how they lose ratings, is when you ignore their social clips, when you ignore their show, and you tune into shows like this. You tune into the independent media that are actually fans talking about the team as fans, and we're seeing what you're seeing. These guys, they're not watching the games. They're watching highlights. They're watching the Monday morning quarterback type stuff. They're not paying attention the way we're paying attention. And by we, I mean us as fans, not even just us on this show. Eagles fans, we watch the games. We watch every second. We're paying attention to practice reports, this, that, and the third. Just don't pay any mind to the talking head pundits, and your life will change forever.
Or if their social clips do come across your feed, just be ready with the clip of them going, "Oh yeah, the Eagles have the best shot of repeating," and just
literally, or the perfect gift of Jalen Hurts just lifting the Lombardi trophy, because at the end of the day, they can't take that away from us. Also, the Bryce Huff trade is official, and the Eagles will be getting a conditional 5th-round pick that can turn into a 4th-round pick. Just Howie Roseman is on demon time, which is just phenomenal.
Who let Howie Roseman cook? Genuinely,
he's so good at his job.
Have they not learned? You cannot let Howie Roseman cook.
Every human, no matter what field of work you're in, should aspire to be as good at your job as Howie Roseman is at his.
And you throw in the occasional mess up here and there, like Jalen Reagor, in order to draw people down a little bit, and then you blow them away with a fantastic performance the next day.
Exactly. And you look at, just his track record, and this is one of those rare instances where Howie and the front office missed on a player. That's fine. It happens. But look, he immediately flipped that mistake into a positive, and the Eagles have a gajillion draft picks that they can use to trade for guys, to move up in the draft, to move around, and get creative. I'm so excited that Howie was just able to do this post-draft too is just a wild feat. So kudos to Howie Roseman for making that trade happen.
He's the guy.
Also, I don't know if you saw Nolan Smith spoke with the media this week. He said that he was yelling at Milton Williams to pick up the strip sack fumble because he couldn't move to pick up the ball because he tore his triceps.
Wow. That's incredible.
Which we all knew post Super Bowl that he and Brandon Graham retore his, but we also found out Nolan Smith tore his. But he said, yeah, I was yelling at Milton Williams to get the damn ball because I couldn't pick the ball up because I tore my triceps. And then you go back and watch it, and you kind of see Nolan's trying to go for it, and then you see Milton Williams dive on the ball, and it's oh, there's context to this now as to why Milton Williams came up with the fumble recovery. Just fun wrinkles like that is why I love sports. It's because when the guys open up and they talk about stuff like that, it's so exciting. But kudos to Nolan Smith being a young player and having the veteran wherewithal to be yeah, I need somebody else to pick this ball up because I'm not going to get to it. And it turned into a turnover for the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Dog. Love the guy.
Absolute dog. Final bit here. It is brought to you by our friends over at Bino. Guys, it is the next big tabletop game for your tailgates, your man caves, your she sheds, your parties, your events. You break out the Bino board. The people are going to be talking. Harrison and I have played Bino for years now. We absolutely love it. It's paper football meets foosball for an electric flicking experience. Visit their website, use our link in the description, check out all of their officially licensed boards from the Premier League, the MLS. They've got custom boards that you can make. They've got boards that they release all the time with unique designs in the pitch. You can customize boards. It's truly one of the coolest games that I own. I need to get the Philadelphia Union board for sure, Harrison. I know you're waiting to pull trigger on that Chelsea board for sure.
Yes,
use our link in the description. and get 10% off your next order from our friends at Bino when you use code BinoBennett62. That's code BinoBennett62 for 10% off your next order when you use our link in the description to shop with our friends at Bino. Harrison, there's some Flyers rumors swirling around in the zeitgeist. New assistant coach hired today as we record this on Wednesday. And there's rumors that Utah, the newly named Utah Mammoth, which I still kind of refuse to want to call them that. It's weird.
I rocked with the Utah Wasatch or whatever that mountain range is. That would have been a cool name, and then you could have had a Yeti as your mascot.
Yeah, it would have been so much better.
But
there's rumors that they are potentially interested in shopping the 4th overall pick in the draft for a young top 6 forward. That comes from David Pagnotta from the 4th period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much validity there is to it, if it's a true rumor or not. You know, the Flyers are at 6. If you move up 2 spots, what's it going to cost you? Yeah. I know it's a very like top 2, top 3 type of draft this year. Yeah. Is it worth it for the Flyers to want to move up and get another young player that, and I know like after the top 2 guys, it's still like there's like 5 to 6 guys that are, you know, not franchise altering players, but they're very good complementary players for a team like the Flyers who have a franchise altering player in Matvei Michkov. But, you know, to move up 2 spots, what the cost would be, do you find it worth it? And if they were to move up 2 spots, who would be a potential guy the Flyers could be targeting if they decide, yeah, this is the move for us? Not saying that the Flyers are in these rumors, but yeah, Flyers Twitter got talking about it a little bit, and I found it interesting.
You know, I personally don't think that it's worth it moving up 2 spots. Again, this is a top 2, top 3 heavy draft. And again, it's only 2 spots. If we can keep Owen Tippett around, that's good for the team. I think he's a good glue guy. But like, you know, a lot of these guys between 4 and 8, they're all solid. You got Caleb Desnoyers, you got Porter Martone, Radim Mertka, Jake O'Brien. These are the guys who are going to go 4 through 8. And they're gonna like you never know who's gonna fall where. Roger McQueen, Kashawn Aitchison, any of these guys, they're a solid pickup. Like there's no one who really catches my eye. Like next year, I desperately want the Flyers to tank this year, so next year we can go out and try and get Gavin McKenna with the 1st overall pick, because him and Michkov together would be nasty. But I really don't think there's any use, right? Especially if it's going to cost us Tipper. I don't think there's any use for that.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the lot of draft picks that the Flyers have upcoming as well in terms of 2025 and beyond. Like, if they can use any of those picks to potentially move up in a draft that has McKenna in it to better their odds, you want to hold on to that ammunition as much as possible. Especially when there's potential for 2027 for them to have 2 first-round picks. The first-round pick that they got in the Scott Lawton trade. They obviously have their own first in 2026. They've got, you know, 3 firsts this year. There's a lot that they can do, and there's still a lot of picks that they have, you know, in the chamber on top of that. So it's one of those things that it sounds nice on paper, but I do agree, like, McKenna would be the better fit for that. The Flyers are reportedly, like I said, the assistant coach hired today, reportedly bringing in, I'm just calling him by his first name because there ain't no way I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, and I'm not going to disrespect my man's. His first name's Yogi, and that's just fantastic. Like, the fact that we've got an assistant coach named Yogi Svejkovsky, I believe is the last name.
Svejkovsky.
I'm just going to call him Big Yogi because that's just a phenomenal name. But that is the new assistant coming in, and I'm sending you boys a picture because this guy had me cracking up when this came across my timeline today. The tweet caption from Nathan Grav Murdoch on Twitter. What lab are they creating these KHL coaches in, man? This coach is a menace.
Oh,
Like,
He looks like the Dumb and Dumber dude.
oh my God. Jacob, you're totally right. I could hear him going, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Or, hey,
Like-
my beer smells funny.
where are they growing these guys?
Yeah, no, guys, I found my next haircut.
Which then the ever so incredible account, Art But Make It Sports,
Oh God.
posted their comparison.
Oh God. Oh, we're down to a minute left. Are we
And
going
I
to get
just-
overtime in game one of the Stanley Cup playoffs or the Stanley Cup?
I sent you the comparison of for Art But Make It Sports, and it's just so perfect. I love
Yep.
Art But Make It Sports. Emperor Trojan.
Oh,
Because they both got like, it's like the same but different because the coach has like a squished up face and then the Emperor has long ass. Oh God. It's brilliant.
Emperor Trajan, who was a Roman emperor.
Also,
from
this guy's name works so perfectly with his face. His name is Igor Grecian.
that's perfect.
That's such a perfect name.
Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, holy cow, this guy is a weapon
That is the most Russian looking man I think I've ever seen in my
I've
life.
ever seen.
He brushes his teeth with vodka, I heard.
Oh,
Yeah,
he 1000% does.
He brushes his teeth with it. He uses it instead of body wash and shampoo.
He uses a
instead of milk.
potato for body wash.
Yeah. And then he takes that potato and crushes it with his bare hands and turns it into vodka.
And then he uses that as mouthwash.
Yeah.
It's
Except
so-
he doesn't
cereal.
spit. He just swallows it.
he looks like he would be like an extra in like the next season of Stranger Things.
Oh, I was gonna say Curb Your Enthusiasm. I can see Larry David. "Hey, you see this guy? This is the most Russian man I've ever seen. Hey, do you speak English, buddy? Something like that.
Honestly, I see him being in Borat too.
Borat, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys seen I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson?
Yes.
He looks Jacob, that's your homework. You got to watch that. It's on
you
Netflix.
would enjoy. It's
Jason.
so goddamn funny.
What's it
Each
called?
episode's only
I think you
it's
should
only like,
leave.
yeah. Each episode's only like 12 minutes.
Oh,
You've
Three
probably
seasons.
seen like clips or get like the one iconic gif is Tim Robinson. He's in the hot dog outfit. He's like, we're trying to figure out who did this. If you saw it, you would be like, oh, I recognize it.
Yeah.
It's like a wildly used gif, but it's from that
There's
show.
also the guy with this. I want a good steering wheel that doesn't whiff out of the window while I'm driving.
Never heard of it.
No?
It's so funny.
It's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. He looks like he would be straight out of I Think You Should Leave.
Yes. I could also see Tim Robinson in I Think You Should Leave donning a wig with that haircut.
I think he has.
Yes. It reminds me of the court case, like the court scene.
Ye-
When he's sitting in the court just like
With-
sweating.
With the hat. And he brought it. I heard a jingling in his pocket. I think he brought Dyson.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Joker looks
funny.
like a Disney Channel villain.
He does
Yeah.
look, yeah. Like on one of those very mediocre ass like not
Disney
like one
Channel
of the
original
good Disney
movie.
Channel,
Yeah.
not one of the good Disney Channel original movies, like one of the mid ass ones that you just wind up watching when you're like 10 years old on a random day.
Yeah.
Let's see. What movie would he be in Disney Channel original film?
He'd be
He
in
would-
like he
Oh
seems
no.
like a-
What were you saying?
I was gonna say he looks like a high school principal who's like a complete
Yeah.
dick.
I was gonna say he looks like the mayor in like the fourth installment of Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the principal in like High School Musical 2.5.
Or like he'd be like one of the offshoot like bad guys in like Cadet Kelly.
Yeah. Or what's the one with the chicken mascot?
What
with
was
Jason Dolly.
Yeah. Yeah.
he be in that, or like
Oh, we're getting overtime, boys.
in like the Descendants or something like
Which one's
that
one?
guy? That guy's an absolute weapon, though.
I don't know.
That coach from the
Oh, yeah.
KHL, just a menace.
The most KHL coach you've ever seen in your life.
We will put a poll out on our socials to gauge the people's interest on whether or not the Flyers should trade up or not in this draft, or kind of hold on to their draft picks or not. But I agree with you, Harrison. I think you stay put this year, kind of see what happens, and then you go forward from there. Plus, I trust Jonesy and Danny Briere.
Yeah. Whatever they want to do, I'll trust it, but I don't see them making a move like that.
Yeah. That's all we got for you guys on this one. Very fun episode. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps all of our shows on the network continue to grow. Also, little around the underground, Steve and I will be at the ShopRite Classic in Galloway this weekend. So definitely stay tuned for content coming out of the Getting the Whole podcast. We're going to be down by the shore for the LPGA event there. And then also shout out to Casey and Owen. They had a red carpet event on Tuesday night for the grand opening of the F1 arcade in Philadelphia. Love it. Those guys are crushing it. If you're not listening to Underground Circuit, you're missing out. And they're going to be working with the F1 arcade in Philly a ton. We're working on potentially doing some live shows there for Underground Circuit. So looking forward to that. Kudos to them. They've been hustling and grinding. And Casey next week is going to be at the Montreal Grand Prix in Canada. So a ton of fun stuff coming out from Underground Circuit. But make sure you guys are subscribed to the pods, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. You can also leave us a voicemail at speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave questions, thoughts, and fun voicemails for Jacob. You can leave us questions, thoughts, rants about your favorite teams, whatever it may be. Speakpipe.com/Underground Sports Philadelphia. And again, Sunday, June 8th, myself, Jacob, CFO Margie at Rita's in Sewell, 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell. Live show starting around 6 p.m. Come hang out. We're going to have a ton of fun. It's going to be a blast. Looking forward to it. 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell. Rita's live show. Going to be a blast. And guys, of course, this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 748 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Harrison, for Jacob, I'm KB. Let's go win another series tomorrow, Phils. Let's get it done. Let's get out of Toronto with a series win. We'll see everybody live from Rita's in Sewell on Sunday night with another fun show on deck. But until then, we are getting the heck up out of here, and we're signing off. Peace.